I stepped off the plane in Bali, still dizzy from the long flight and the champagne I had on board. My dress was wrinkled, my hair a mess, but I was smiling. This was supposed to be our honeymoon, our first big adventure as husband and wife. I rolled my suitcase through the airport, thinking about the little surprises I'd planned. A beachfront dinner, matching massages, and a secret boat ride I booked just for the two of us. But when I got to the hotel, everything stopped. "Your husband has already checked in," the front desk girl said, smiling politely. I blinked. "I'm sorry, what?" "Yes, Mr. Jackson arrived last night. He's in the villa already." Villa. The private one we picked out together. The one with the infinity pool and outdoor shower. I walked to the room, trying to make sense of it. Maybe he flew ahead to surprise me. Maybe something happened. I knocked. A woman opened the door. She was wearing his shirt. I stood there frozen. She didn't even look shocked. She just rolled her eyes and walked back inside. Then he appeared. My husband, in swim trunks, a drink in his hand, tan like he'd been here for days. "Babe, listen," he started. I turned around before he could finish. Later, I found a note slipped under my door. "We need time apart to think. I didn't want to ruin your trip. Please respect my space." "Your space? On our honeymoon?" I sat on the edge of the bed, not crying, not screaming, just staring. They'd been together for years. I found their photos on his old iPad still logged into iCloud. Beach trips, hotel selfies, her in our old apartment, even a Valentine's dinner from before our wedding. The timeline hit like a punch. He was with her when he proposed to me, when we planned the wedding, when we said our vows. My friends had warned me. "He's too smooth. Why so fast? Doesn't it feel rushed?" I ignored them all, thought I was the lucky one. But now I was in Bali, alone, betrayed, furious. And I wasn't going to waste this view on tears. I was going to destroy him. Back in the hotel room, I stared at the ceiling fan, listening to the distant waves crash against the shore. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. My heart wasn't broken. It was boiling, and I needed answers. I remembered he never changed his passwords, always said it was too much of a hassle. So I opened my laptop and tried the old standby, his dog's name and his high school football number. It worked. His email inbox opened like a trapdoor to another world, one I clearly wasn't part of. There it was, a folder called Trips, Private. My stomach twisted. I clicked. Dozens of PDFs and confirmations filled the screen. Flight bookings, hotel upgrades, spa reservations, dinner bookings in Bali, all under her name. He had upgraded her to first class. On our honeymoon flight, he'd booked their massages 2 days before I was even scheduled to land. The dates lined up too perfectly. They flew out early, stayed at the same resort, even used the same car service I had arranged for us. It got worse. The payments were all made from our joint account. My money, the card we used to save up for this trip. He used my card to cheat on me. Then I checked the billing address. He'd had some items shipped to an unfamiliar apartment in the city. A gift basket, baby onesies, a necklace engraved with M. I felt the air leave my lungs. The mistress wasn't just some fling. She was his assistant. I recognized her name now, Madison. She was at our wedding, smiling, clapping during our first dance, wearing blush like a damn guest. She knew. I clicked deeper, found a string of emails where she called him baby daddy and joked about how his little wife probably thought he was away on business. Pregnant. She might be pregnant. That's when something inside me snapped. Not shattered, but snapped. The kind of break that doesn't heal sweetly. The kind that grows sharp edges. I opened up a notes file and started listing every reservation, every transaction, every bit of information I could find. Dates, charges, card numbers, passwords. This wasn't grief. This was prep work. He thought he'd outsmarted me, played me, taken me for a fool. But now I had the receipts, literally, and I was going to use every single one of them. I woke up the next morning with one goal: ruin his life with a smile on my face. First, I booked my own flight home. 1 seat, aisle, leaving the day before their return trip. Quiet, clean exit. No drama, yet. Then I logged into our joint airline account. Since I helped book the honeymoon tickets, I still had access. I changed their return flight to a random date, 10 days later, and set the notification email to one he never checked. Deleted the confirmation. They'd show up at the airport with no seats, no explanation. Next, the money. I opened our joint savings account, the honeymoon fund. the one we built together for memories. He'd already used half of it for her spa treatments and lobster dinners. I transferred the rest to my personal account, every cent, legally mine too. Then I logged into the credit cards and started cancelling, froze the accounts, reported my card lost, requested replacements sent to my home address. He'd be stuck halfway across the world. No cash, no card, no clue. Sitting in a little cafe near the beach, I ordered a margarita, salt rim, extra lime, and started locking him out of everything else. Bank app, logged out, food delivery, password changed, Netflix, logged out on all devices. I even hit the petty button. His Spotify playlist, deleted, his cloud storage, filled with photos of my middle finger and screenshots of the email receipts. I renamed the folder, For Cheaters Only. Finally, I left a note at the front desk of the hotel, sealed in an envelope, to Jackson. I'm willing to talk. I knew he'd see it and think I was coming to beg or cry or plead for an apology. I wasn't. It was bait. I knew if he thought I was nearby and emotionally vulnerable, he'd delay leaving just to mess with my head. By the time they'd figure out their return flight was gone, their bank cards frozen, their reservations cancelled, it would be too late. I took a slow sip of my drink and smiled at the ocean. Let them panic. Let them sweat under that Bali sun. Because I was about to leave this island with everything, and they were going to be stuck here with nothing. The night before my flight home, I decided it was time to go public. I wasn't just going to ruin his honeymoon. I wanted to set his whole life on fire. With the truth, I opened Instagram and started writing. No filters, no dramatic quotes, just facts. Married my husband 2 weeks ago. Flew to Bali alone for our honeymoon. Turns out he was already here, with his mistress, who also happens to be his assistant, who is also maybe pregnant, who has also been at my wedding, and who helped him spend my money on their vacation. Then I added the photos, screenshots of their DMs, his hotel booking with her name, receipts showing charges to our joint card, and a selfie of me alone at the beach holding a cocktail. The final touch? I tagged him, then I tagged her, then his boss, his mum, his sister, his cousin, his best friend, every person who posted about our wedding with a "so happy for you" message. I tagged them all, and I didn't stop there. I still had access to her email. She used the same dumb password. Inside, I found something golden, an RSVP confirmation from her own wedding website. She was engaged too. I found her fiancé's Instagram. He looked like a decent guy. Normal job, nice dog, happy photos with her from last Christmas. So I sent him everything. No caption, just screenshots. The hotel receipt, the baby onesie shipment, a picture of her wearing my husband's shirt in our Bali villa. He replied 3 minutes later. Holy shit, thank you. I had no idea. The story took off within hours. People I barely knew were messaging me. Co-workers, old friends, even girls who dated him before and had stories of their own. The post spread fast, like wildfire. By the time my plane lifted off, I knew he had no idea yet. He was probably still sipping drinks by the pool, thinking he'd just pulled off the perfect lie. But when he opened Instagram, he'd see it all. The tags, the comments, the 800+ likes, the DM from his boss, the text from his mother. Explain. Now, he'd find out while still in paradise, where he couldn't run, couldn't spin a story, and couldn't erase a single thing. I smiled as the plane took off, because while they were still in Bali, soaking in stolen sun, the world was already watching and judging. 3 days after I landed back home, I got the notification I'd been waiting for. Their return flight was today. I made myself a big bowl of popcorn, logged into the airport's lounge app, where I still had VIP access from the honeymoon package, and pulled up the security cam I'd quietly linked to my account. Terminal C, Gate 42. There they were. He looked annoyed, scrolling through his phone. She looked confused, flipping through papers. They kept walking up to the counter, pointing at their passports, waving their arms. The airline staff kept shaking their heads. They had no ticket, no seats, no reservation under their names. I watched her face start to change. That tight, fake smile panic. He started raising his voice. She pulled out her phone, tried calling someone. No signal. I texted him right then. Hope the weather's nice in Bali. You're gonna be there a while. He froze. I could see it on the camera feed. Him staring at the screen, mouth slowly falling open. He spun around, pacing, then started angrily typing. I silenced my phone. She tried her card at the coffee shop kiosk. Declined. He tried his. Also declined. Then came the full meltdown. Him yelling, her crying. Both of them frantically searching their bags, pointing fingers, snapping at each other. I laughed so hard, I nearly dropped my drink. The icing on the cake? I had already contacted the hotel to let them know the remaining balance was unpaid, and that I was no longer covering the bill. I gave them the room back. Their key cards would stop working by sunset. Stranded, no money, no credit cards, no flight, no hotel, just each other, and a tropical island that had suddenly turned into a really expensive trap. They had thought they were sneaky. They thought I was weak or stupid or the kind of girl who'd cry and disappear quietly. But I wasn't any of those things. I was the girl who watched their airport breakdown in real time from my couch, in pajamas, with a glass of wine in one hand and their ruined itinerary in the other. And I had never felt so calm. Once I was home and well rested, I got to work on the final piece, the legal takedown. First stop, a lawyer. I showed her everything. Screenshots, emails, receipts, messages, even a video clip of him and the mistress from the hotel hallway camera. Her eyes widened halfway through. "This isn't a divorce," she said. "This is an annulment. Fraud. Straight up. Exactly what I wanted to hear." We filed immediately, citing infidelity and financial deception, with a mountain of evidence attached. I wasn't just ending the marriage, I was erasing it. The court granted a temporary freeze on our shared assets. That included his car, our condo, and even the stock account he liked to brag about. He couldn't touch a dime without the court's okay. Every cent was locked in limbo. Meanwhile, I forwarded a polite, well-organized folder of documentation to his company's HR department, not out of pettiness. Well, okay, maybe a little, but mostly because he violated about 6 codes of conduct. He used company funds to take his subordinate on a fake business trip, to cheat on his wife. It didn't take long. She was fired within the week. Quietly, of course, but I heard about it through a friend who worked in their office. As for him, he started blowing up my phone around day 9. Messages, calls, voice notes saying things like, "Can we talk?" and "You're being unfair," and "We should handle this like adults." I agreed to meet at a busy coffee shop near downtown. Neutral ground. I showed up early, ordered a drink, and left 5 minutes before he arrived. I watched from my car as he showed up, scanned the room, then sat, and waited, and waited. I watched the clock hit the 1 hour mark, then 2, then 3. He texted again. "Are you here?" 4 hours. Then I turned off my phone, ghosted him completely. He didn't deserve closure. He didn't even deserve coffee. Later that night, I posted a new picture on Instagram, me smiling, holding a latte in front of my laptop. Caption: "The only meeting I'm attending today is with my lawyer." The comments were glorious. He had tried to build a lie on top of a lie, thinking I'd quietly walk away, too heartbroken to fight back. But instead, I took everything he thought he could hide behind, money, status, control, and turned it into legal firepower. Game over. A few days after the HR bomb dropped, I got a DM from someone unexpected. It was her, Madison, the mistress. She opened with, "Hey, I just wanted to say I'm really sorry about everything. I didn't know he was actually married." I rolled my eyes so hard I almost strained something. Then she followed up with a second message. "He lied to me too. I thought you two were just dating. He told me you were toxic and obsessive. I was manipulated." The classic "I'm the victim too" routine. She sent a whole paragraph about how women should support each other, how she's been crying every day, how she lost her job and her apartment, and how this was all his fault. She was hoping I'd feel sorry for her, but I didn't, because I remembered what I found in her messages to him. Screenshots where she laughed at my wedding photos. "Can't believe she wore that dress," she'd written. "She looks like a sad cupcake." She knew he was married. She helped him pick the resort for the honeymoon. She RSVP'd to our wedding and sent us a fake gift card. She even posed in a photo with me at the reception, like she was just another sweet guest. So no, I wasn't buying her "we're both victims" speech. I didn't reply, not one word. Instead, I screenshotted the messages she sent me and quietly forwarded them to her ex-fiancé, the poor guy who almost married her. I figured he deserved to see the full performance. Then I blocked her. No sympathy, no solidarity. She wasn't crying over being used. She was crying because the safety net she thought she had, the lies, the money, the job, the secret, was gone. I didn't feel bad, not even a little. She could try and rewrite the story all she wanted, but I'd already printed the ending in bold. I didn't need her apology. I didn't want her guilt. She made her choice. Now she could live with it. It didn't take long for the fallout to hit him full force. First came the job. Turns out, using the company credit card to book a luxury trip with your assistant/mistress isn't exactly great for your employment record, especially when screenshots of the charges, flight booking, and hotel upgrades end up in HR's inbox with helpful labels like fraudulent use of corporate funds. The office gossip spread fast. Some of his co-workers even liked my posts. One of them anonymously messaged me. Everyone here saw it coming. No one's surprised. He was fired within the week. Not even a formal meeting. Just an email and a 2-minute Zoom call. Then his so-called boys started disappearing. Group chats got quiet. His fantasy football crew removed him. His college roommate unfollowed him and liked one of my revenge posts. His best man from the wedding texted me a simple, "Good for you." He's always been trash. Even his family turned their backs. His mum, who once called me the best thing that ever happened to him, sent a cold message. "We're disappointed. Please don't contact us again." His sister blocked him. His cousin posted a meme that read, "Karma. It's not a maybe, it's a guarantee." And now, he's living in his mom's basement. No job, no friends, no money, no mistress. Last I heard, she dumped him too. Guess love looks different when you're broke and jobless with frozen bank accounts. Meanwhile, I was thriving. With the annulment moving forward and the accounts finally split, I used part of what was legally mine to upgrade to a new apartment. Nothing too fancy, just mine. Bright kitchen, big windows, peace. And the best part, I adopted a dog, a sweet little mutt from the shelter with big ears and a wiggly tail. He cuddles me every morning and barks at delivery men like he's guarding a castle. I named him Bali because I decided if that place was going to leave a mark on my life, it wouldn't be because of heartbreak or betrayal. It would be because of what came after: freedom, growth, and maybe a little pettiness wrapped in fur. Sometimes I take Bali on long walks and imagine him seeing me with my new place, my new dog, and my quiet, happy life. And I hope he realizes he didn't just lose a wife. He lost his entire world, and I never even raised my voice. It started with a TikTok, just a short clip, me holding a glass of wine, staring out my apartment window, with text that read, POV. He took his mistress on our honeymoon, so I took their return tickets, his bank account, and his career. That video hit 1 million views in 2 days. Then the comments came flooding in. "You're a legend, Queen of Petty. I want this energy tattooed on my forehead." People begged for the full story, so I gave it to them, in parts. I posted videos breaking down every move, the password hacks, the money transfers, the airport meltdown, the ghosting, every tiny, delicious detail, and it blew up. Reddit got a hold of it next. My post on r/ProRevenge exploded. It hit the front page within hours. Screenshots went viral on Twitter. Even BuzzFeed ran a little drama of the day feature about it. Suddenly, I was getting messages from podcast hosts, YouTubers, talk show producers. They all wanted to interview me. One show even offered to fly me out for a live segment. I declined most of them. I wasn't trying to make a career out of my ex's stupidity, but I did agree to a few podcasts, mostly because they let me bring Bali along. Fans started calling him the Bali Boy, and people kept asking where they could buy a shirt that said, "Hope the weather's nice in Bali." So I made one. Just for fun, I put up a small merch store, mugs, hoodies, tote bags, all with my favorite phrases from the story. It sold out in a week, but I didn't keep the money. Every cent went to a local women's shelter, quietly, no big announcement. I'd already won. I didn't need applause. The best part? I turned something awful into something useful. A petty story became a power anthem, and somehow, I went from being the humiliated bride to everyone's favorite revenge fairy godmother. People still message me to this day, strangers telling me I gave them courage, laughing, cheering, learning to leave. And me? I just walk Bali around the block in my hoodie that says, "Petty, nah, just efficient." I didn't rush into some new romance. This wasn't going to be one of those cheesy, "I found myself and now I'm in love again" stories. No thanks. I didn't need another man. I needed something real, something that couldn't lie to me, cheat on me, or blow up my life in a hotel room. So I built my own. I opened a brand new bank account with only my name on it this time. No joint anything, no shared passwords, no one else's name on my money. Then I took some of the leftover honeymoon fund, what was legally mine, and started a business. Just a small online shop, but it was mine. Every little thing I made, sold, or shipped felt like proof that I'd survived and moved on in my own way. I stopped explaining myself. I stopped checking my ex's socials. I didn't wonder if he was sorry, or if she missed her old job, or if they still even spoke. I didn't care. Forgiveness, that's cute. But I didn't do it. I just lived. It took a year, but when I finally felt ready, I booked a flight back to Bali. Same island, same resort, same ocean view. But this time, I was alone by choice. I wore a silk robe, not a wedding dress. I checked into the nicest suite on my own card. No fake notes, no secret mistresses, no drama, just peace. I ordered champagne to my room, extra cold. Sat on the balcony with Bali, now a little bigger, curled up next to me. The sky turned gold. The waves kept crashing like they always had. I smiled, not because everything was perfect now, but because I was. I had changed. I was sharper, quieter, smarter. I didn't cry over lies anymore. I planned around them. I didn't beg anyone to stay. I gave them space to leave and made sure the door locked behind them. I lifted my glass to the ocean and took a slow sip, calm and unbothered. I didn't need revenge anymore. I'd already won. The only thought in my mind was this: next time a man lies to me, he better do it broke, 'cause I'll ruin his life for free.